grew up in my first years, early years, me and my brother, in a small town of Regal, Minnesota. It was out in western Minnesota. I was going into third grade in a one-room school. My brother was going into fourth grade in that one-room school. And my parents often boarded school teachers. No organized girls' sports. Then when I got into high school, but and I could play in the band. I could sing in the choir. I could try out for all the plays, and I was also part of a tumbling group. And I think I was kind of at the bottom of the heap in the tumbling group. But also in high school, I traveled back and forth to Gustavus, and I took piano lessons at Gustavus. My professor was very, very good. But I was taken with the campus, and I just loved it there. And every time I went home, and I said, Mom and Dad, I said, that's where I want to go to school. I want to go to Gustavus, because I just loved it there. And also, I seemed like I spent half of my life in swimming pools and teaching at summer camps. I worked on the waterfront in Wisconsin. Taught swimming at Speck Lake, right close by on the waterfront for the Red Cross. And well, it wasn't very difficult, because I was the only female available. And physical education, coaching was my major in college. I just loved it. I was with wonderful people. I swam in a performing team. And I had a tumbling team, which was not a gymnastics team, but probably was an early taking root with that. Then I had cheerleaders, and I had GRA, also in Cambridge, the Girls Recreation Association. I knew early on I never wanted to sit behind a desk. There was just no question what I was going to do when I got to college. Right at this time, this was about in '68, the Minnesota State High School League hired Dorothy McIntyre, and she was going to lead girls and women's sports and growth in the state of Minnesota, and she did very well. And my very, very first year of coaching, and I was only alone on this for that very short time, was basketball. I was coaching basketball. There was only one of me, so I could only do 3 sports a year. And then I did a little bit of rudimentary, and I really stress the word, rudimentary gymnastics. And then volleyball. I was going to summer schools quite a bit during this time. I was coaching volleyball, and then track. So
I'm singing and dancing in the...
Well, I have a lot of good memories. I could just go on and on, but I would say being down in the old high school here, and then seeing this magnificent school going up north of us, that was so exciting. So often I walked down there. So exciting to see the gyms. So exciting when I heard there was going to be a pool addition. So exciting when there was going to be a new track. And I could just see where the boys and girls sports programs outside of the basics were going to go. So I would have to say that those were the most really memorable things, because everything else memorable came as a result of that building program, which was just fabulous. And at that very same time, the current staff was starting to help in the girls' athletic program. Several coaches and assistants stepped forward to help, and some of these were men and some of these were women. But because they did, what wonderful people they were to give extra time, that all helped make women's sports grow. And I am forever grateful to those people. Most of them are. We had 2 state champions in girls track in the state meet that took first place. And they did at the state meet, I will never forget that state meet, what they had never done before. They had never thrown the shot put that far, the one girl. The one girl had never high jumped that far. And wasn't that just the perfect perfect moment in their life? So that I don't forget. And then that induction into the Hall of Fame. So, with them, I have to thank all the school boards I went through. They were very supportive and they were sensitive to our needs. And also I would like to thank the staff members that stepped forward. I've mentioned that many times, but without them our programs couldn't have been what they were. And some of the early pioneers were Kathy Bowen, Sheila Beshi, and Deb Hedquist, all great women. And in closing again, I would like to thank George Larson and Jerry Carlson for putting up with me. I think that was quite a feat. We spent many years together in the same area. But at this time also, when I'm thanking people, I would be remiss if I didn't mention Carl Erickson. He was my bus driver for girls track for years and years and years, all my years. And his wife would send dessert, I'd make sandwiches, and we'd sit on the sidelines watching the mile run and have our meal there. And then my good husband Jerry, I can't even begin to tell you how many peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and quarts of milk he drank for his suppers. And he never had a complaint in the world, so he was the love of my life, that's for sure. Kathy Boone, I mentioned her before, deserves much credit as well. She was a new young teacher taking on many roles and doing an excellent job. Quite a few superintendents and principals passed my way through my coaching teaching years. All were excellent in being supportive. School board members kept an open ear and were aware of the need to advance girls' sports. In retrospect, it was always my goal to attend college. My parents were wonderful and supportive in every way. And now, having been selected to be inducted in the Cambridge Isanti High School Hall of Fame, that will forever be in my heart. And I am so blessed.